What if the secret to true mastery is to step back, to breathe, and to let go? In this hypercritical world, it's easy to become consumed by the need for perfection. Social media amplifies this, showing us curated snapshots of seemingly flawless lives. This isn't about giving up, it's about finding the hidden strength in effortlessness. Consider a business venture that doesn't succeed, a relationship that falls apart, or a personal goal you didn't reach. The initial sting of disappointment is inevitable, but it doesn't have to define you. Musashi's teaching tells us that the key lies in letting go, in trusting yourself and the skills you've already built. By trying too hard, we often sabotage ourselves. By allowing flow, we unlock our potential. Take an example: relationships. How often do we hear that trying too hard can push people away? Whether it's a friendship, a romantic connection, or building a professional network, desperation and over-effort can create tension, suspicion, and even resentment. Musashi's art of effortlessness reminds us that authenticity and calm presence are more powerful than forceful effort. Genuine connections come from being, not forcing ourselves to become what we think others want. Think of a friend who listens without judgment, who doesn't try to one-up or impress. Aren't they easier to be around? They embody Musashi's philosophy without even knowing it. Imagine it: a crisp morning sun casting long shadows on the ground as two warriors stand face to face in a clearing. You are one of them, feeling every breath, every shift of wind on your skin. This isn't just another fight. It's a duel that will decide everything. The stakes are life and death, and every fiber of your being screams at you to be ready, to brace yourself, to attack. You tighten your grip on your sword, feel the pulse of adrenaline surge through your veins, and strain every muscle. But suddenly your master's words echo in your mind. Loosen your grip. It seems almost absurd, doesn't it? In a moment like this, why would you let go, even for a second? Yet, this is the heart of Miyamoto Musashi's teaching, the paradoxical truth that true power is found in letting go, not holding tighter. He knew from years of battle experience that tension creates rigidity. A rigid arm swings slower, a tense mind misses crucial details. When you try too hard, you stifle the very skills you've spent years developing. The tighter you grip, the more control slips from your hands. Musashi understood that mastery lies in fluidity and instinct. Think of water flowing around obstacles. It never forces its way but finds the path of least resistance. In combat, this translated to moving with the moment, not against it. Musashi won his battles not because he was the strongest, but because he could adapt, remain calm, and let his intuition guide him. He was in a state of what we now call flow, total absorption in the task at hand, free from overthinking, liberated from the need to prove himself. In our modern lives, the battlefield might look different, but the principles remain the same. Consider a high-pressure presentation at work. The more you obsess over every word, every gesture, the more rigid and nervous you become. You might memorize every line, but if something unexpected happens, a technical glitch, an unexpected question, you falter. In contrast, when you let go of perfectionism, focus on connecting with your audience, and trust your expertise, you speak with authenticity and confidence. You enter a flow state where effort feels natural, not forced. This isn't about neglecting preparation. Musashi prepared intensely, practicing his craft until it was second nature. It's about releasing the need to control every variable. It's about trusting the foundation you've built and adapting to whatever comes. In personal relationships, too, the art of not trying holds true. Ever notice how the best conversations flow naturally? When we try too hard to impress, we come off as inauthentic. When we trust ourselves, listen deeply, and let go of self-consciousness, real connection happens. There's another layer to Musashi's philosophy: letting go of attachment to outcomes. Each duel he fought could end in death, yet he approached them with detachment. He focused on what he could control: his movements, his strategy, not on the result. This mindset is liberating. In life, many of our anxieties stem from trying to force outcomes that are beyond our control. When we release this grip, we find peace and clarity. Think of a musician on stage. Hours of practice have prepared them, but in the moment of performance, they must let go. If they overthink each note, the music suffers. But if they trust themselves, allow the music to flow through them, the result is magic. Effortlessness born of effort, mastery in motion. Musashi's lesson is simple yet profound. Try without trying, act without overthinking, and find freedom in letting go. Whether facing life's great battles or daily challenges, effort without strain leads to true mastery and joy. So, loosen your grip. Trust yourself. Flow with the moment. This is the art of not trying, and in its paradox lies the secret to greatness. Embracing imperfection is one of Musashi's most profound teachings, a recognition that no warrior, no artist, no human being is perfect, and perfection itself is an illusion. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive for excellence. Rather, it means understanding that every stumble, every misstep, and every setback is a vital part of growth. Musashi's battles were not all glorious victories. He experienced defeat, hardship, in times when he was pushed to his limits. But it was his ability to learn from every encounter, victorious or not, that set him apart and allowed him to keep growing, keep evolving, and ultimately become the legend he is today. When we strive for perfection, we hold ourselves to an impossible standard. We become paralyzed by fear of failure, terrified of making mistakes. Our efforts are rigid, constrained by the weight of our expectations. The irony is that this quest for flawlessness often leads to stagnation and burnout. Musashi understood that true mastery isn't about being flawless. It's about continual refinement, about showing up with dedication even when the outcome is uncertain. Imagine an artist painting on a canvas. If they demand perfection with every brushstroke, they may never finish their work. They'll agonize over every line, fearful of making a mistake. But the artist who embraces imperfection allows the paint to flow, makes bold choices, and learns from unexpected results. Sometimes it's the mistakes that bring a painting to life, giving it depth and character. In life, too, mistakes can become our greatest teachers, pushing us to think differently, adapt, and become stronger. Musashi's philosophy invites us to find grace in our imperfections and resilience in the face of failure. Consider a business venture that doesn't succeed, a relationship that falls apart, or a personal goal you didn't reach. The initial sting of disappointment is inevitable, but it doesn't have to define you. If you can look at the experience with a sense of openness and curiosity, what went wrong? What did I learn? How can I grow? You transform failure into wisdom. You step forward with a newfound strength, ready to try again with more insight and less fear. Applying Musashi's philosophy to everyday challenges means embracing the art of mindful detachment. Imagine facing a complex problem at work, a project with endless moving parts, an impending deadline, and pressure mounting from every direction. The natural inclination may be to dive headfirst into every detail, obsessing over solutions and micromanaging every aspect. But this intense striving can easily cloud judgment, leading to stress, mistakes, and frustration. Instead, Musashi would advise a different approach. Pause, breathe, and step back. In this strategic pause, we grant ourselves the opportunity to quiet the noise and bring clarity to the situation. Like a master swordsman who surveys the battlefield before making a move, detachment allows us to assess our options from a position of calm rather than chaos. It's not about giving up control, but about using distance to gain better control. This practice has its roots in mindfulness, a tool that grounds us in the present moment and slows the mind's racing pace. By taking a step back, we can discern which aspects of the problem truly require our attention and which are distractions. It's the difference between striking purposefully and flailing aimlessly. Think of a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, whether with a colleague, a friend, or a loved one. The urge to prepare every word and rehearse each possible outcome might feel necessary, but it can also create rigidity and anxiety. Instead, imagine approaching that conversation with a willingness to listen, to be adaptable, and to release the need for perfection. By letting go of obsessive control, you invite genuine dialogue and connection to emerge. This mindset shift is not passive. It requires strength and trust in your instincts. Just as Musashi exemplified adaptability and grace under pressure, so can we cultivate a state of effortlessness in life's challenges. In moments of stillness, fresh perspectives emerge, creative solutions become apparent, and we rediscover the courage to act with intention. Thus, stepping back doesn't mean surrender. It is the power move of a seasoned warrior, knowing that sometimes the best strike comes not from force, but from the clarity found in restraint. Consider how often we find ourselves trapped in cycles of stress, overthinking, and striving. We push harder, clench tighter, and exhaust ourselves in the process, believing that more effort must equal more success. Musashi challenges this notion by demonstrating that true strength lies not in forceful striving, but in the harmony of effort and ease. When we loosen our grip, trust in our instincts, and move with the flow of life, we open ourselves to a realm of potential that frantic effort alone cannot reach. Think back on the stories we've shared: the young samurai loosening his grip before battle, the moments of mindful detachment, and the grace found in embracing imperfection. These are not just stories of a distant time, they are lessons for our own lives, here and now. Whether in navigating difficult conversations, approaching ambitious goals, or finding peace in daily chaos, we can learn to embody the art of not trying. Thank you for joining this exploration of Musashi's teachings. May you walk forward with courage, resilience, and the art of not trying lighting your path.